Hi there, I'm Summer, and today I want to talk about the trade-offs of choice mom life. I want to tell you about some of the sacrifices that I've made and some of the things that I've gained in hopes that you'll have more information for your life when you're evaluating your options. So the other day I came across this quote that said, "There are no perfect solutions in life, there are only trade-offs." And that has been rattling around in my head because it is so true. And yet I think so often we default to thinking that we can find some perfect solutions in our life. And the reality is, I think that life is a lot more give and take. So the thing that kind of sucks about being a choice mom is that your sacrifices are big and upfront. So for most people, that means giving up on the idea of the perfect life or whatever that looked like for them. So a lot of people think, I'm going to get married and then I'm going to have kids and my children will have two parents, etc. And obviously, by definition, being a choice mom means letting go of the idea that you are parenting with somebody else, parenting with a partner, kind of in this with somebody else. So while different people have different ideas around exactly what their dream consists of, there's at least that component of giving up on the idea of being co-parenting with somebody else, which is hard. These are ideas that we have in our head, just ingrained, that we just assume is what our life is going to look like. And letting go of those dreams or ideas is not easy. It's really hard. And a lot of times it brings up a lot of emotion. It might bring up other insecurities. It's not an easy process of letting go. And that is, by definition, part of becoming a choice mom. Also, some of my friends have been married and had to get divorced in order to become a mom. That's something that not everybody thinks about, but there are a lot of people who are in marriages that, for a variety of reasons, is not where they want to get pregnant and have kids. And that's its own thing that you have to work through and mourn and get over. And also, when you become a choice mom, you're doing it kind of publicly. It's pretty obvious that you're making these sacrifices. And that kind of adds another layer of I'm a private person. I don't really like anybody knowing my business, which is why I have a YouTube channel, obviously. But I feel like these videos are very much for a purpose and for a specific audience. And so I think it's worth it. And I will overcome my, preference for privacy so that I can share these stories, which I think are really important for certain people to hear. So yes, doing this kind of when people know that you're making this sacrifice can be a little bit uncomfortable and just add to the buffet of things that you have to work through on your way to becoming a choice mom. So even when you make the choice that this is what you're gonna do and you start doing it and people know you're doing it and it's a little uncomfortable, you get the joy of trying to conceive, which probably during a phase in your life where it's not gonna be easy, not gonna be cheap, and you require assisted reproductive technology, art, something like that. It's just so fun, and it takes forever and costs a lot of money. Kidding, not kidding. It can feel like one challenge after another. And then you eventually get pregnant or adopt, totally cool. Pregnancy, by the way, is not exactly easy. And then you carry this child for, the duration of your pregnancy, and then you give birth, which is not exactly easy, followed by 24-hour-a-day care of an infant. Not easy. It's hard. And There are definitely moments of joy along that way. I mean, when you see on the ultrasound, when I saw my baby, both times, I've had two babies. It takes your breath away. It's so like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I've been waiting for and trying for and hoping for. And there's definitely a sense of, this is what I want. And it is a beautiful experience, and it is a wonderful experience, and it is hard. Both of my girls did not sleep through the night very easily. One of my girls slept through the night at 5 months old, and the other one slept through the night at 7 months old. That means months and months of getting up multiple times in the night to feed your baby, care for your baby, breastfeed if that's your thing. And this like sleep deprivation puts you in like zombie land, and then you have to get up in the morning, and most people I had to go to work and like be a productive human being on like hardly any sleep, like month after month. I mean, like a week of that would be hard, but it's month after month after month. These are sacrifices. This is hard. And I was fortunate because I didn't have anything like postpartum depression, which is, something that you really have to watch out for and be prepared to work through. Like, pregnancy is not easy on your body. It is a physical sacrifice. And yet, there is joy. From the beginning of being a mom, I had a deep sense of purpose. I knew this is what I'm supposed to do with my life. I knew this is exactly where I belong. COVID has sucked and lockdown sucks. And I mean, seriously, the amount of disturbance to regular life that a pandemic brings is just, it's still hard to wrap my brain around, because so much of just normal life is gone, different, just crazy. And yet there is nowhere I would rather be than with my babies. Like, I don't have somewhere I'm like dying to be. I'm dying to be with them. This house, this home, this family, this is my purpose. This is my joy. And I can honestly say that the joy of being a mom is growing. My girls are 1 and 2.5 now. And I feel like the sacrifices that I've made are little seeds I've planted along the way, and those seeds are really starting to bloom. I had an experience this week that prompted this video pretty much also because, so my 2-year-old is signed up for preschool, but preschool doesn't meet in person because COVID. My 2-year-old is signed up for Zoom preschool, which I thought was gonna be a ridiculous piece of crap, to be honest. I'm like, oh my God, they're 2, can get real, right? But I'm trying to hold her space for eventually when the school opens up, and whatever, I'm trying it. So set up the little computer the other day, and they say for your child to bring a stuffed animal and whatever. So turn this on, and the teacher is introducing herself to the class, and the teacher's reading a story and talking to the children by name and stuff. And my daughter was so excited, so interactive. She was so dang me. Like, I'm a talker. She's a talker. She's like got her Peppa the Pig, and she's like, excuse me, and like raising her hand, and she wants to talk, and she knows this song because the wheels on the bus. And oh my gosh, my 2-year-old got muted from preschool. Mute. I loved it. I loved every second of watching her do her dang little Zoom preschool. I cannot even tell you how fantastic those moments were, watching her have that experience. And then I was super excited that we get to do it again. I'm like, yay, Zoom preschool, because it's so where she's at, and it's interactive and educational, and just that she's mine and we're doing this and I'm the mom, and like it's wonderful. And that was a moment. And so like I said, my girls are 1 and 2.5 now, and they are starting to interact a lot more. So like every night, something that they do together is go in the 2.5-year-old's toddler bed, and they hold on to the headboard and they jump up and down, and then they just like have fun, and eventually they like fall onto the bed and like kind of wrestle and kind of laugh and like and I just like, be still my heart. Like, where would I rather be? Like, this is it. This is my jam. This is what I do. It's so worth it. But when you're at the beginning of the process and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna get married and have kids that way, or you're somebody who has to get divorced in order to be a parent, it just feels like such a gut punch and such a loss, and so just like something's being taken from you. It's a loss, and you have to mourn these things, and it sucks, but joy is coming. If this is the right path for you, if truly in your heart this is the thing for you, if being a mom is the thing you want more than anything, then this is what it's going to look like down the road. Then those sacrifices are seeds of joy down the road, because you will eventually become a mom one way or another, and you will love it, and you will have your moments of like pure joy. I was talking to a couple of my choice mom girlfriends this past weekend about trade-offs that they've made in their life, and one of them said something that kind of stuck with me. She said, yes, I could have gotten married to this guy that she was dating at the time. She said, yeah, I could have gotten married. I could have been with so-and-so. And she said, I would always have had a baby-shaped hole in my heart. And I can totally relate. And some of you will totally be able to relate to that. And you know what? Not everybody will. For some people, the better choice, the better trade-off for them is to get married in a situation that you're not going to have kids, or stay single and not have kids and not take on the responsibility. But for those of you who have that sense in your head that you just know that you will have a baby-shaped hole in your heart if you don't do this, it's those people that need to hear that, yes, there are sacrifices, but there is joy along the way. And one last thing I wanted to know. If you think that trade-offs are only for choice moms, that's ridiculous. Trade-offs are for human beings. You cannot be human and not make sacrifices. If you think that somebody that you know isn't making trade-offs, you just don't know them well enough, or they're just not saying, or whatever, because I don't know a single person. As a choice mom, it's easy to go, oh, I sacrificed, being in a relationship and co-parenting, it's so hard. It's such a high price to pay. Yes, I get that. But like, I live on a street with probably like 10 houses, and almost everybody on the street is like married with a couple kids. I can tell you house by house, oh, she's making these sacrifices, he's making those sacrifices. Like, nobody's getting through without making sacrifices. It's just a matter of finding a balance of what trade-offs are going to work for you. What can you not live without? Then you got to make sure that you're getting that in your trade-off, because nobody's not making a trade-off. Nobody's not making a sacrifice, and nobody's getting it all. Nobody's getting everything. Having it all? Really? I don't think so. But having plenty is totally a thing. You can have plenty, you can have joy, and you can have the things that absolutely mean the most to you if you prioritize them. Okay, now I'll get off my little soapbox. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I will talk to you soon.